Welcome to the bold analysis. For the second time, Justin Muturi is conspicuously missing from a cabinet meeting. If you check the photos of the cabinet dispatch this Tuesday from Statehouse, Nairobi, Justin Muturi, who really fell out with Kenya Kwanza, was conspicuously absent. And in this podcast, we are going to explain more of this and interrogate and explain to you why Ruto is actually blocking Muturi from Statehouse. What exactly happened? You will see. Make sure you watch to the end. Finally, guys, we are finishing our February project here. And our February project is this young lady, Josephine Wambua. So Josephine Wambua, for the last 2 days, of course, we've been running appeal to support Josephine, who is a single mother of 3. The husband disappeared some time back. She had undergone through a CS and so has not been so stable. But now, due to hardship, she had to do the hawking to feed the 3 children, which has really made things difficult for her. She even ran into some rent area. So we're soliciting 150,000 to help offset her rent arrears and establish a business for her and also pay the fees for the child. I want to say thank you. As I talk to you, I already have 132,000. And what is remaining is 18,000. Tomorrow on Wednesday at 10, I will start. Of course, I will visit so that we can support Josephine in Kayole. So that is the balance I remain with. I think if 10 of us give me around how much? Itatosha. Kindly, let's try so that we can support this girl and God will bless us. And thank you very much for supporting our February project.
Ni venye nauzanga melon. Hii ndio kazi yenye niko nayo kwa saa hii. Ndio niweze kulisha watoto.
Melon unapata pesa ngapi?
Melon napata faida ya 200 na nanunua na 200. Ndio kwa saa hii juu sina kazi nyingine na niko na watoto, ndio niweze kulisha hao watoto. Juu si huyu peke yake, niko na watoto wengine 2, sasa wote ni 3.
Kuna watoto 3? Na wako class ngapi?
Ule first born second born nampelekanga daycare. Huyu juu ni mdogo, natembea na yeye.
Na
baba yake aliacha kama niko na mimba ya miezi 2, akaniambia ameenda kazi, hajawahi rudi.
Sijui utamchukua na huko, nataka watu wamuone. Just kesi yake iko very, nataka experience.
Babake alitoka kwa nyumba akaniambia ameenda kazi na hajawahi rudi mpaka leo. Hiyo ilikuwa ni last year mwezi wa 4 date 29.
Put themselves in the shoes of these parents and relatives who have been agonizing. Did they enjoy Christmas? They could not, when everybody else was enjoying their Christmas. Surely this must be something that we must take to the next level, where we must involve in a commission of inquiry, which must include people from all sectors. The law society should come up, be part of that commission of inquiry, religious groups, and the civil society groups like Amnesty International and others. Kenya Human Rights Commission. All of them, they should be involved in that commission, because we want the truth, and to put an end to this, we cannot take it as business as usual anymore, because I can just put myself in the hearts and the minds of these parents. You've seen one of the fathers here is not even able to appear because of the agony that is been taken through for the last 40 days.
Ladies and gentlemen, As I talk to you, Muturi family confirms that his official vehicles and security details have been scaled downwards, and to some part even with the drone, but he stays put, even if not getting entry to the cabinet. He's failed to exit the stage, and President Handler says that because he could be charting a political path in 2027, the dissenting voice against the regime is part of his momentum building. But I think to what cost? I think Muturi has been right on that. Njuri Ncheke recently called for reconciliation between Muturi and the president. And we are liably informed that Kithure Kindiki was tasked with the responsibility of talking with Muturi to change tone with the president handlers, demanding a public apology so that he can be forgiven and life moves on. And I think those who are asking for that apology are getting it wrong. Because if you look at the magnitude of the things Muturi raised, they cannot be watered down by simply an apology. Because he raised the question on abductions, something that has been a thorny issue in this country. To that end, it is a bit unfair just to demand an apology. And him apologizing to the president is actually legitimizing abduction, something that I'm very sure as a seasoned politician in his caliber would not take. The National Assembly, which has resumed session today, has declined, or rather have declined, to censure an impeachment motion against Muturi. Says that would also give him an exit momentum. And I think the state also understands that if you take an impeachment motion to parliament, you are going to give a platform for the country to speak about abduction. The discussion of the grounds of impeaching him, the issue of contradicting the president, cannot form a strong basis of impeaching him. You need to get a criminal case. You need to get a tangible, the threshold. You need to meet the threshold. And that is why Parliament has refused, or Parliament cannot impeach him. And I think Ichung'wah said that. The president approached Peter Munya, the veteran Meru politician, and Lenny Kivuti, who is a close ally of Rigathi Gachagua and is eyeing Embu gubernatorial seat, to take the cabinet slot from Muturi. But I think the decision on who to take that position has not been arrived at, with the quarters also insinuating that the president is shopping for a senior politician from Lower Eastern, and preferably Charity Ngilu, in the spirit of the broad-based administration, the broad-based government, so that he can take that cabinet slot to Lower Eastern. Remember, the Lower Eastern only have one, that is Peter Munya. Not Peter Munya, that is Alfred Mutua. They used to have Penina Malonza too, but Penina Malonza was dismissed. So that is one of the things, because remember, if you remove Kindiki, if you remove Muturi, you need a replacement. You need to do the replacement like immediately. The biggest headache is the political chase of removing Muturi. And I can say this. Muturi is reported that the way cabinet, what happens is last time the cabinet met in Kakamega. Today, if you look at those photos, the cabinet met in Nairobi. So the person who is supposed to invite members for the cabinet retreat, for the cabinet meeting, is the secretary to the cabinet, Margaret Wanjau. But you'll also be informed that cabinet calendars are made yearly, so that its cabinet meetings are not impromptu meetings. Those are meetings that are organized, that in this month we are going to meet date X and Y earlier enough, so that even cabinet members who will have some engagements at ministry level can make prior arrangements so that they are available for those cabinet meetings. So even by the virtue of, even despite the fact that it is the secretary to the cabinet that sends the invitations, Muturi was aware of the cabinet meeting and availed himself, and is reported that he was denied entry at the Statehouse. Well, guards decided, but he decided not to go public about it. So in this podcast, I want to explain the questions that I know when we've done this analysis, and the questions that are normally asked. Why is the president not sacking him? Why is he not resigning? I know there is also that question of, okay, fine, you are not attending cabinet, you are unwanted in that cabinet, but why are you attending? Why are you attending a cabinet? Why are you still in government, receiving money, taxpayers' money, but then not working? Remember, even at the ministry level, he's not been receiving briefs from the principal secretaries, and is a man there withdrawing salary. So those who ask, why has he not resigned, should also, the same question also goes the other side, is why has he not been removed? Because the two options, if he can't resign, the president also have the latitude of sacking Muturi. It is a very delicate balance for him. And it is actually understood that the delayed announcement by Rigathi Gachagua to pick his political party, to announce his political party, it was delayed by the virtue that one of the parties that Gachagua was acquiring was actually Muturi's party. And the understanding would have been that if you sack Muturi, then that would actually form the basis. That would give him the momentum to consolidate and give visibility to that party that probably is also rumored to be working with Rigathi Gachagua. So it seem not to want to give the momentum. But I want to tell you this. The things that Muturi raised, the question of abduction that Muturi raised, is not something you just wake up one day and say, I'm chasing you. It's not that easy. And it's all right, because then it comes out like he was fighting for the people. But I also insist, for those who are in appointive positions, it is more right to leave when you think things are not right. Sometimes. I know there is a question that Rigathi is being asked. Why you are now defending government, but while you were there, you were praising it. In fact, by the time you are being impeached, you are even fighting to remain. But now, let me get this. Why Ruto is blocking Muturi from Statehouse? Why Ruto blocked Muturi from Statehouse? Number one, Ruto understands that Muturi is going to bring up that issue of abduction in cabinet. I saw Adan Duale, I saw Soipan Tuya. I think those are the two cabinet secretaries that reacted. They've been asking Muturi that you have the cabinet as a platform that the 50 million Kenyans don't have, and instead of going to city mortuary and calling press briefings, you need to bring that matter to the cabinet. And there were two requests. There was just another one that you need to go to the police station to write a statement. He went. Now Ruto understands that if Muturi is given the latitude of going to the cabinet, then he's going to bring up that matter. And however, whichever way the president will react or the other cabinet members will react, Muturi will walk out and spill the beans. Very true. Muturi will walk out and actually spill the beans. So he doesn't want to see Muturi in cabinet because Muturi will raise those questions again and again. That is the only thing. He was asked, go and report to the station. He reported. He gave his account. Now the other cabinet members were asking, why don't you bring it to the cabinet? He will bring it up. And I think the president would not want that. The other issue is this. William Ruto is forming a ground, a public appeal for Muturi removal. I can tell you, the next few days, the narrative will be that Muturi absconded his duties. Then said to be skipping cabinet meetings, not being invited or being blocked, but because the state have its own machinery, they will come out and say that mimi sina shida na Muturi amekataa kukuja cabinet. Then from that, they will form a ground of either dismissing or going through an impeachment. Remember, even as so far, censuring an impeachment motion is not very easy if you don't have a ground. It's not very easy. If you don't have a ground, a solid ground to impeach. So it's supposed to create a threshold. They're already creating a reason that, oh, Sunaona hajakuja cabinet. So that's why now need to show him the way. The other issue, I think, the issue of Muturi apology. I realize that William Ruto is a man that is modus operandi, is one who wants to do things behind the scene. Hata kukiwa na shida, even when things are tough, he'll come out and say, this is not the way you think. And the fact that this issue of Muturi came out is not sitting pretty comfortable with him. Now, the other issue is Muturi has been branded as Rigathi Gachagua ally and is believed to be a man who is collecting data and feeding Rigathi. Remember, Rigathi was somewhere in central Kenya, and they said that after Ruto's speech was heckled in Embu, Ruto called Muturi through at night na akamsomea Muturi. So if Ruto called Muturi na akamsomea, then what does it mean? It means that it is only Muturi who told Rigathi that Ruto alimsomea. So he understands. And I think President Ruto, through his intelligence, has gathered that Muturi is talking with Rigathi. And Muturi is in his way out. So he feels probably he will be there to spy on the government. But I also believe Muturi himself can also make the conscious decision to avoid, because you never know, man. Watu wanakuwa abducted na wale ni watu critics pale nje. There could be another form of abduction within the areas when you come close to. You never know. So probably even him, it's also within his thinking to avoid Statehouse. Thank you.